Good evening, councillors, staff, ladies and gentlemen in the gallery and those listening at home. Please be seated while Councillor Dewhurst delivers the blessing. Thank you.
Councillors, Madam Mayor, as we gather here tonight in the service of our community, may we open our hearts with kindness and let respect be the foundation of every word spoken. May we focus not on petty differences or personal grievances, but rise above the small things to let the bigger picture, the well-being of every resident, the strength of our neighbourhoods and the legacy we leave for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst. Before I begin, I'll read the acknowledgement of country. We acknowledge the Wadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, who are the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we meet today. We pay our respects to them, their culture and their elders, past, present and emerging. It is now 7:03 and I declare the meeting open. I'll just read the disclaimer. Members of the public are cautioned against taking any action on council decisions on items in which they may have an interest until such time as they've seen a copy of the minutes of the meeting or have been advised in writing by city staff. Also, to let you know, we are live streaming, so please note that all council meetings are digitally recorded and live streamed on the city's YouTube channel, except for confidential agenda items, during which time the live stream will be temporarily suspended. There's no announcement of visitors. Record of attendance. Councillor Betts has a leave of absence, as does Councillor Zhang. Councillor McDonald is an apology. He's been trying to call in, but unfortunately technology is playing up, so he will be an apology this evening, unless he happens to join us. At this stage, he is an apology. Councillors, are there any disclosures of interest? No disclosures of interest, thank you. Announcements by presiding. Just a couple of small announcements, or rather large announcements. I want to congratulate Deputy Mayor, Councillor Serena Williamson, on her Merit Award from Welga on the weekend. Congratulations, well deserved, and well done to you. Very proud of you, Deputy Mayor. Also, that is all I have at the minute. I don't think I have anything else, so that will be fine. Reports of delegates, are there any? Councillor Good. Councillor Good, thank you. My eyes were still on Councillor Dewhurst, then you...
Thank you, Mayor Lyons. Councillors, Councillor Adams and I did a MODAP meeting, which is Metropolitan Outer Development Assessment Panel, last week for a $2.1 million facility of a childcare premises at Lot 229 Murdoch Road in Thornley, which is actually a property right next door to the Forest Lakes Shopping Centre. It should be a very good premises. It'll hold up to 116 children with employing up to 19 staff. So that's got approval by unanimous decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Islam, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. On 9th of July, Councillor Emma Zhang and I attended a forum titled Becoming an Elected Council Member, organised by the Department of Local Government, Sports and Cultural Industries. The event attracted over 100 participants, both in person and online, from diverse cultural backgrounds across WA. The forum was designed for individuals from culturally, linguistically diverse communities who may be interested in upcoming local government elections, either this year or in future cycles. The Honourable Minister Hannah Beasley, MLA, Minister for Local Government, opened the event with a welcome address to the audience, and this was followed by a presentation from Laura Hunter, Executive Director at the department, who provided an information overview of the election process and the responsibility of elected members. And Councillor Zhang and myself took part in a panel discussion along with a couple of other councillors from WA Local Government. One is from Councillor Second from City of Canning, and another one from Councillor Aringo from City of Swan. We participated in a lively QA session, responding to a wide range of thoughtful questions from diverse communities. It was heartening to see the level of enthusiasm and genuine interest from community members wanting to serve our local government. With 6 councillor positions in our city up for council election this October, I encourage anyone interested who is watching online as well as here in standing for election to start preparing now. And also to those in public gallery and watching as well, when it times come for voting, please remember to vote. Even though vote is not mandatory, but your voice and participation truly make a difference. Thank you.
Councillor Islam, and it was great to see you and Councillor Zhang participating in that, two councillors from the City of Gosnells, so great work, well done, thank you. Deputy Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a report regarding the inaugural youth forum that was held today. Myself, Councillor Lloyd and Mayor Lyons attended the event. It brought together student leaders from 3 schools. It was Southern River College, Lumen Christi and Yulbrook College. It brought the students together to talk about an issue that was bothering them and to come up with a solution. It was very impressive. There were 6 groups that came together and they were mixed within those 3 schools. And they actually came forward with 6 different ideas, which surprised me. So it sort of shows the diversity of issues and the way they impact different students. So as an example, there was discussion around bullying, financial literacy, wellness, phone usage, waste use and opportunities for jobs. So it was really great to see the students come up with real life solutions and talk about ways they could overcome these social problems. So I just wanted to congratulate the staff that ran the forum. The students were very comfortable with speaking, discussing the issues and participated really well. So I also like to congratulate these students for coming along and contributing as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Okay, moving on. It is now question time for the public and the receiving of public statements. Some questions here from Mr. Walker, if you would like to come forward, thank you. You have 5 questions, Mr. Walker, and you can ask them all this evening.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Of the 45 or so food vendors at the Fusion Festival, how many are domiciled in the City of Gosnells?
And I'll get Director Blake to respond to that question, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have the answer to that question, but I do know that we do our best to engage local operators, but we also have to make sure that we've got a varied menu and price list, that they meet all the other eligibility criteria in terms of public liability insurance and all of those sorts of things.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's Sandy Barrow. Question 2, I apologise for that. Question 2, is it accurate in some local governments audio-visual recordings of council briefings are made available to the public?
And I'll get Mr. CEO to respond to that question because I'm not 100% sure.
Madam Mayor, I think so, but I'm not 100% sure either.
Did you get the answer to that?
No, sorry.
We're not quite sure how many are and if they are doing visual recordings of briefing sessions, but we could check that for you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Does making audio-visual recordings of council briefings available to the public provide greater transparency?
I think ultimately the decisions are made in this room and this is video recorded, so I think this is quite a transparent process doing it in here.
Thank you. Will the Mayor give an undertaking to arrange for audio-visual recordings of council briefings to be made available to the public?
That would be a council decision and any councillor could bring that forward if they wanted to.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. What provision has been made in the budget to provide shelter for the city's homeless?
I'll get Mr. CEO to respond to that one. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, the council's got an advocacy position in relation to homelessness and we promote that. But there's no specific budget line item to deal with shelter for the homeless.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Walker.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Can I now have Mr. Daniel Stevens to come forward, please?
Thank you very much. This information that I allocated, my parents were residents and ratepayers of the City of Gosnells for about 30 years. Right through the 80s, and they left the City of Gosnells in 2006 and they're retired up in 2J, and I'm the only child, so they spend all my inheritance money now. So, but the information that they've given me has to do with the Thornley Library. The Thornley Library was open at 8 o'clock on Thursday nights for a reason, because you had the late night shopping, you had the library open at 8 o'clock, and then you had the Leisureplex open at that time. So it sort of created this community triangle. So my question is, what would have to occur for the Thornley what would have to occur for the Thornley Library opening hours to be extended back to 8 p.m?
Mr CEO will respond to that question. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The City monitors library attendances and we try and ensure that libraries are open when there's the greatest demand for them. Obviously, as the evening wears on, demand falls away. We will continue to look at library usage, and what's required to change it is a sort of budget for additional staff hours and management decisions, or it's either taking away some hours at other parts of the day when libraries aren't well used.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, would a petition do that? If it was
It would
petitioned?
it would still be a decision for council to make, even if you did a petition. Thank you. Thank you. There's no other questions. There's no public statements. Mr. Walker, would you mind turning that microphone off as you walk past, please? Thank you. I hope your call was okay. Okay, thank you. I will move on now to the confirmation of minutes. Can I get a mover, please? Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst. And a seconder for the minutes, thank you. Thank you, Councillor Islam. Is there any questions on the minutes, councillors? No? Councillors, if you would like to cast your vote, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. We'll now move on to the receiving of petitions and presentations. Are there any? No? Okay, thank you. Any applications for leave of absence? Councillor Singh has a leave of absence application from the 12th to it's the 12th of August, which includes the council meeting, for personal reasons. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Adams and Councillor Good to second that. Councillors, if you cast your vote on that, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. There are no questions of which due notice has been given, no items to be brought forward, so we'll move straight into item 12.1, the Public Art Committee meeting on the 4th of July 2025. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Dewhurst to move this, Councillor Lloyd to second this. Councillor Dewhurst, would you like to speak to this item? Councillor Lloyd, would anybody else like to speak to this item? Deputy Mayor, Councillor Williamson, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to move an amendment to this item, which reads, I, Councillor Williamson, propose the following, that the staff recommendation be amended by the inclusion of the following additional part, that Council requests the CEO to explore opportunities to use funds held in the Public Art Reserve, as well as other funding sources, to engage professional artists to facilitate community projects that enable local residents, including students, to be involved in the creation of public art, such as murals for public spaces, with a report or proposal to be presented to a future council meeting or workshop as appropriate. For the following reason, community art projects offer numerous social and cultural benefits, including fostering collaboration and connection among community members through inclusive and creative participation, enhancing public spaces by activating otherwise overlooked infrastructure with vibrant, meaningful artworks, providing constructive, purposeful engagement opportunities, particularly for youth and local residents, and leveraging existing public art funds to directly benefit the community by supporting locally driven artist initiatives. The success of recent projects, such as the incorporation of Indigenous artwork in the Mary Carroll Park upgrade, demonstrates the value and potential of such initiatives in enriching public spaces and promoting cultural connection. The City should explore opportunities and mechanisms to support the expansion of community-led public art across the City. Thank you.
A seconder? Councillor Dalton to second that. That's fine. Councillor Deputy Mayor, would you like to speak to the item?
Yes, thank you. So the public art funds that we have at the moment set aside in our budget are approximately $322,000. This previous financial year, 2025 financial year, we actually haven't spent any of those public art funds. So this is money paid by developers that were subject to have the 1% public art levy on their planning applications. So I think what this is really about, exploring ways to make that money work harder for us. So that money will still go towards public art, but we're now, this amendment has an opportunity to make that money be used for ways to actually engage the community through activities, provide local employment opportunities, and inspire another generation to have ownership and express their talents within the community. I think there's many opportunities with our infrastructure assets. So it could be bus shelters, it could be on sides of buildings. There are many ways that it can be done, and there's also other grants available through the town team movements and RAC grants to activate spaces through public artwork. So I think it would be a really good opportunity to see how we could use that money, get it out in the community and actually provide some benefits to the community without actually costing us much more money. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Would you like to speak to the item, Councillor Dalton? Would anybody else like to speak to the item? Councillor Dewhurst, thank you.
I like to speak in support of it. It's actually quite smart amendment that's come through. Though that funding of that $320,000 for the public art, I thought we had a discussion a couple of years ago that we're looking at entrance statements into the city to use the money for that. I might be wrong. Might be some money somewhere else because it's it's passed yesterday, so I might have forgotten about it. But if I could just be advised on that, and I like the amendment. And I'll support it, but I just want to find out if...
I can answer that quite simply. Yep. Yes, that is the case, but there could be further funds in there that could be used for something else anyway, so that's fine.
I'm happy with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other... Would you like to close your debate? Thank you. No? Okay. Councillors, if you'd like to vote on the amendment, please. Thank you. Thank you. That has been carried. Now put the amendment back with the original item. Is there any questions or debate on the original item, councillors? No? If you would like to cast your vote on the original item, thank you. Okay, that has been carried. We'll now move on to 13.1.1, the potential future complaints for Southern River Business Park. Can I get a mover for this, please? Deputy Mayor Councillor Williamson to move this, and a seconder. Councillor Baynes to second. Councillor Williamson, would you like to speak to this item? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to thank the CEO and staff for working through this process and defining the way that we'll move forward should there be any complaints once the land is actually titled and handed over to the owners. I think this really gives a clear process there of who has responsibility and what residents in our community can do if, unfortunately, they do experience any negative impacts from the development or the construction. So I think I fully support this staff recommendation and thank the staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Is there any further debate or questions on this item? No? Councillors, if you'd like to cast your vote, thank you. That has been carried, thank you. We'll now move on to 13.2.1, the proposed road closure for a portion of Albany Highway, abutting 2364 lot 69 Albany Highway, Gosnells. Can I get a mover for this? Councillor Good, thank you, and a seconder. Councillor Singh to second. Councillor Good, would you like to speak to this item? Councillor Singh, is there any other debate or questions on this item? No? Councillors, if you'd like to cast your vote, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. We'll now move on to 13.2.2, the development application for the showrooms, shops, fast food outlets, restaurants, cafe and service station, convenience store, 606 lot 101 Warton Road, corner of Ranford Road in Southern River. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Baynes to move this, and a seconder. Councillor Adams to second this. Councillor Baynes, would you like to speak to this item? Councillor Adams, would anybody else like to speak to it? Councillor Dewhurst, thank you.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I've got an amendment. I'll go through the amendment first. So, Councillor Dewhurst proposed the following: that staff recommend Our recommendation be amended by inclusion of the following additional part. Insert a new condition 11 as follows. Prior to applying for a building permit, the proponent shall submit revised plans for the proposed signage so that the centre sign, as shown in the site plan, is reduced to a maximum height of 8 metres to the satisfaction of the City of Gosnells. The reason that is to protect the visual amenity of the resident Sanctuary Waters in Canning Vale, who lives in close proximity to the subject development site. The proposed centre illumination pylon signs should be reduced to 14 metres to 80 metres in height. The reduction in height would also be consistent with our local planning policy. Yep. So, councillors, when this came up initially, the original time it came up, I was actually under the impression we actually set this back because of the remnant bushland that's currently there, and also the problems with the Warton and Ranford Road intersection. I must have missed it, where it said they've it actually went back just for traffic management. So I was quite surprised that none of this was mentioned in there. But so I just want to talk to you about the actual amendment. The Sanctuary Waters people gave me a call. We had a meeting with Chris Terling and also Martin Glover in regards to issues, and the issues were, number one, when they actually upgraded that intersection, before that, the people that built the houses there, they got a sound wall around there, and the road, people couldn't look into their houses or literally look into their back living room when they're having dinner. They couldn't do that. But with the upgrade of that intersection, they actually built the road up. So what happens is people in trucks or buses that go along there, people can actually sit there and just watch everyone having dinner. So it's quite intrusive. And Martin's been looking at ways of getting main roads to see if they can do something about that. I'm not sure what they'll do. The second thing that they were actually concerned about is the lights. So a truck across the road can, with the lights on top of the truck, not the headlights, they said they can see that. That's fine. And trucks' height would be about 4 metres, 4.8 metres probably. That's probably a pretty high truck, isn't it? Probably about 3.5 metres. And they're really concerned about all the lights going across the road, in particular this one particular sign that's going up. Because they said that, and it's not just one or two, it's actually that whole mob that live around there, people that live around there, that will actually be able to literally watch TV in this light. They're going to be seeing this light. Now, I know they can reduce the brightness of it and stuff like that, but I would not want to be sitting in my house looking at this big fluorescent light. It'd be like the episode of Seinfeld with the big rooster sign, you know. So, I think it's we do have a policy here in regards to having 8 metre signs. 8 metres, they'll still be able to see the top of it, but bearing in mind a 14 metre sign is like a 4-storey building moving across the road from you with headlights on. So, councillors, I ask you to support us, ask you to support the Sanctuary Water people there that brought this. It's not exactly what they have asked for in regards to everything that they've asked for, but we just moving things along, and hopefully we'll get there and they can live in a bit of peace in their homes there. So I just ask you to support them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst. Deputy Mayor is the seconder. Did you want to speak to the item? Did anybody else want to speak to the item? No? Councillors, did you want to close? Councillors, if you'd like to cast your vote, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. That will now go back with the original item. Councillor Dewhurst.
Deputy Mayor first.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. I have another amendment to move as well. So I have an amendment which reads, I, Councillor Williamson, propose the following, that the staff recommendation be amended by the inclusion of the following additional part 2, that Council encourages planning for the future upgrade to Ranford Road abutting the subject site at the earliest opportunity, and requests that the left-in element to the ultimate access to be completed as a priority for the following reason: to minimise potential queuing from the intersection of Ranford Road and Warton Road, where the performance of the intersection is already recognised as unsatisfactory.
Seeking a seconder for that. Councillor Dalton, thank you.
Thank you. Councillors, I ask you to support this amendment because at this stage we have a development application coming in with a interim entry point, an exit point, and then an ultimate plan. So at the moment, the ultimate plan is based on upgrades of Ranford Road. At this stage, we do not have a set date of when those upgrades will occur. It could be a decade away, it could be 2 decades away. So I think with the way that the growth is occurring through the abutting area of Harrisdale and Southern River and Canning Vale, I think there is going to be increased traffic in there, and this development is going to increase traffic into this section. Part of the traffic report and the road safety order already recognised that this intersection wasn't performing to standard and was already problematic. So far, City of Gosnells has completed the bus lane for Ranford Road up until Campbell, and we're in the process of doing the next stage of design up to Warton Road, but we're not sure when that will actually be constructed. But then this section, which actually abuts this development, doesn't have any plans actually in place at this stage. So I think we need to prioritise that as this area is growing, and this could be an advocacy position for us to seek funding from the state or federal government through future work. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Dalton, would you like to speak to this item? Would anybody else like to speak to this item? Councillor Good, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Lyons. I support this amendment. What's interesting about this whole proposed development is that you've got roads and traffic lights which actually are at capacity, and there's a development which we want to, well, developers need every opportunity to do their development. They are linked, and yet when you, from a planning perspective, you look at the fact of the development itself, but this whole traffic section impedes. So I strongly support it because, to me, we need to put pressure on the relevant authorities, and I'd love to see the Acting Director of Infrastructure perhaps take this up with the fact of, I'd like to see that whole roundabout intersection, not roundabout, that whole intersection actually be changed, because the flowing of traffic is really, really bad, hence the report which says so. I'm sure all of us drive through it on a regular basis, and all I know is it's very, very congested at most times. So I'd love to see a priority given to this to improve it, and whether they can put in extra slip lanes to get around rather than always having to wait for these lights to change. And I particularly would love to see a red arrow go blank, so if we want to turn right, if it's safe to do so, that you don't hold up traffic flows. So I just support the motion. I think it's time we put some pressure on main roads to say, guys, fix this set, because it's actually holding back the whole city, not just a proposed development. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Good. Is there any further debate on the amendment? Would you like to close, Councillor? No? If you would like to cast your vote, then thank you. Thank you. That has been carried. That will now be put back with the original item along with the other amendment. Is there any further? Councillor Dewhurst, thank you.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Look, I can fully understand that all this has been approved by the EPA and stuff, and I'm talking about the trees that are there. It's Banksia woodland, which is quite critical to endangered black cockatoos. And we know the birds go there. We know they feed there at alternate times of the year. Then when they go to the golf course, once the golf course runs out, normally the Banksias are coming out, and the birds can actually move through that way through a green belt. There's no fault of the developer because it's been approved long time ago to get for this bush to go. But I would like to see, not through an amendment or anything like that, but I mean, developers need to sort of put a bit of conscience in there, and because it's going to affect the birds. I've got no doubt there will be injuries to birds, if not deaths, because of this, because they will be flying there looking for food, because it is a major feeding area for them. I do understand there's a little bit further over in the dog park, there's stuff there as well, but that's taken 50% of the food out. It's like trying to feed me only 1 meal a day. This wouldn't happen. I'd just die. I'd really like to see the city to investigate what are the remnant bushlands that we have that are critical to black cockatoos, and revisit those decisions. I understand people can get around those decisions by breaking them blocks up to 1 acre or 1 hectare blocks, sorry, 1 hectare blocks, I think they are, where that doesn't have to go to the EPA. So I'd like us to do things, I'm not going to say better because we do things really good here. I'd just like us to revisit that and see what we can do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst. Is there any further debate on the original item, councillors? Who opened that originally? Councillor Baines, was it? Councillor Baines, did you want to close? Okay, councillors, if you'd like to cast your vote, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. We'll now move on to item 13.2.3, the draft local planning policy 1.4 parking. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Dewhurst and a seconder, Councillor Islam, thank you. Councillor Dewhurst would like to speak to this. Councillor Islam, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I rise to support the vehicle parking standards outlined in this policy. Ensuring that appropriate parking is provided is essential for the functionality, safety, and accessibility of any development. The clarity and flexibility offered in this policy are very welcome, particularly discount on parking requirements close to public transport and the ability for the city to make determinations where requirements are not explicitly stated. However, I would like to suggest that in such cases, when Table 1 does not prescribe specific parking requirements, we also give due consideration to alternative modes of transport, such as public transport. As our city grows, so too does the need for a more sustainable and forward-thinking approach to mobility. This includes public transport accessibility, walkability, cycling infrastructure, and end-of-trip facilities such as bike tracks and showers. So while I support this policy as drafted, I encourage the city to incorporate alternative transport assessment in Section 3.1b into future parking determinations where specific standards are not prescribed in Table 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Islam. Is there any further debate on this item, councillors? No? Well, then we will go to the vote. Thank you. Thank you. That has carried. Now move on to 13.3.1, the black spot funding application for 2026-27. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Good, thank you. Happy to move this? And Councillor Islam, Councillor Lloyd to second this, yes? Thank you. Councillor Good, would you like to speak to this item? Thank you.
So glad to be able to have moved this motion.
Thank you. I've thought that's what you wanted to do.
I support the motion. I'm just hoping that what is actually being proposed in terms of the respective improvements are the appropriate improvements. Sometimes you can overdo something and over speed bump and over chicane and over everything else, and I'm trusting that we don't, but I get where, particularly where there's 77 total crashes on Ranford Road, Southern River Road, Ballinup Road, that's a very, very strange roundabout section. So hopefully we can do some improvements and hopefully that will reduce them down. The best part about all this is that we're only funding 11,667, but still costing the Australian taxpayer $1,591,500. So irrespective whether it's a council expense or a federal or state government, it's still a lot of money. So hoping we've got the right sections done and looking closely at the future one's been planned. But as we all know, I'm not a huge fan of speed bumps and other things. I wish to penalise those who actually go fast with other ways, such as the police, but I'll still support the motion.
Thank you, Councillor Good. Is there any further debate or questions on this item? Councillor Williamson, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to move an amendment which reads, I, Councillor Serena Williamson, propose the following, that the staff recommendation be amended by the inclusion of the following additional part, that Council requests the CEO to submit an expression of interest to the Welga Roadways program. For the following reason, the revised Roadways program was launched in August 2023 and is currently at capacity with 75 local governments participating. The expression of interest would enable Gosnells to join the program when there is expanded capacity. The benefit to the local government includes road safety advisor support, access to Welga's road safety services, road data and training, as well as additional road crash data to support funding requests.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor is seeking a seconder for that. Councillor Lloyd, thank you. Would you like to speak further to that? Thank you.
Thank you. Previously, the City of Gosnells did have a Roadwise community program, which differs to this Welga Road program. This Welga Roadwise program is funded through Welga, and they have an officer appointed that does all the research and data there and supports each of the local governments. At the moment, they're at full capacity, but they are looking to expand that and are advocating for more funding. So if we do an expression of interest, we can join that waiting list and start to get support sooner rather than later. When I attended the last road group meeting, we had a briefing from the Welga coordinator of the Roadwise program, and I found it very interesting that they have had their first report of the 5 years, and it enables local governments to access preemptive data. So at the moment, when we put in funding requests for black spots, we use actual crash data, and that crash data doesn't go in depth about what the injury or the actual cost is to the person injured or to the vehicle, where the data Welga can obtain through their agreements actually looks at a 5-year period of what the long-term cost of that crash is. So if someone's injured, what are the long-term medical implications for them and disability. It can also access into electronic information from vehicles. So when there's near misses, that information is uploaded and that data becomes available so that we can make better informed decisions at intersections where it may be really close calls and people are just getting lucky not crashing, but we've got potential there to improve the road layout if we had that data to support the funding requests. So I think there's only positives to come of this, and hopefully Welga does get additional funding and can take on more local governments. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. As seconder, Councillor Lloyd, would you like to speak to the item? Okay. Would anybody else like to speak to this amendment? Thank you. No? Okay, councillors, would you like to close, or are you happy with that? Thank you. I have a quick question. Sorry, I know I asked you if you would like to close, but no one spoke. Can I just confirm that there is no cost to the City of Gosnells for this, is there? No? No? Oh, we're not sure. You're not sure? Okay, but we would take this as a council decision anyway if it came back. Sure. So that's fine. Okay. All right, no worries. Thank you. I would ask you, did anyone else have any further questions after I've asked a question? No? And now would you like to close? No? Thank you. If you'd like to cast your vote, thank you. Thank you. That has been carried. We'll go back together with that with the original item. Is there any further? Councillor Dewhurst, thank you.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. It sounds like, again, broken record. I just want to highlight the intersection of Gosnells, Mills Road East and Canning River Road. It is, I've got no doubt it's a black spot. We need to do something up there. I've got no doubt we're going to have a death up there. Hopefully not, touch wood, but there's so many near misses and there's accidents up there. I'm not sure if the data's not there, why aren't they reporting them? I see the broken glass quite often. I travel through there sometimes 4 or 5 times a day. So, and it does. People just come straight out, and the amount of times I've seen cars go around other cars on the wrong side of the road, and it's lucky no one's there. And I've even seen tracks of which looks like cars, but also I've seen a truck go off to the left-hand side into that bush area. So obviously they've trying to miss somebody. So it's only a matter of time when someone dies there, and I just like to go to the city just to keep advocating to get something done for that intersection. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Dewhurst. Is there any further debate on the item? No? Councillors, if you'd like to cast your vote, thank you. Thank you, that has carried. Now move on to item number 13.3.2, fishing in the city water bodies. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Dalton to move this and a seconder. Councillor Islam to second this. Councillor Dalton, would you like to speak to this item? Councillor Islam? No. Councillors, is there any debate or questions? No. Thank you. If you would like to cast your vote on the item, thank you. Thank you. That has carried. Okay, now moving on to 13.5.1, the financial activity statement for June 2025. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Dewhurst to move this, Councillor Baines to second this. Any questions or debate on this item, councillors? No, if you'd like to cast your vote, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. 13.5.2, the payment of accounts for June 2025. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Good to move this, Councillor Adams to second this, thank you. Any questions or debate on this item, councillors? Councillor Islam, thank you.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I just want to ask a question about, there's a payment of $12,718 for temporary toilet hire May 2025 for Ranford Indoor Netball Centre. Just to get a clarity, is that for the month of May or is it for a particular period?
I'll just
Thank you.
ask the Director, Acting Director for Infrastructure, Mr Richard Brown, to answer that if he has those details.
I don't have the exact details of that, but I can find out and I'll take that question on notice.
Thank you. Happy with that, Councillor Islam? Thank you. Any other questions on this, councillors, or debate? No? If you'd like to cast your vote, thank you. Thank you. 13.5.3, that has been carried, sorry. 13.5.3, the proposed delegation of authority, local planning scheme number 24. Can I get a mover for this, please? Councillor Islam to move this. Seconder. Yeah, come on, guys. Councillor Lloyd to second this, thank you. Councillor Islam, would you like to speak to this item? Councillor Lloyd, would anybody else like to speak to this item? No, I would just have a quick question for the CEO for the public record then. It is talking about this local planning scheme number 24. So I wonder if you might give us, you seem to be gearing up for this, so if you'd like to give us an update on what is happening with the local planning scheme number 24, please.
Madam Mayor, happy to. We started the process probably back in 2016. The first report came to council in 2017. We have been progressing slowly ever since, but believe we are very, very close to having it finalised. We've responded to the Minister's final round of changes and are hopeful that it will be in place before too long. Christmas. One Christmas.
Okay, well hopefully it's been... sorry, I have a follow-up question. I'm just wondering when we're starting to plan for scheme number 25. I don't know if it's going to be called 25, but...
It's already underway in my mind, Madam Mayor. We need to be thinking... the government's requirement is that you now review them every 10 years. It was every 5 years, but we're very close to 10 years. And I think it in part because we haven't thought strategically about planning over that period because we've been waiting for Scheme 24. And as for the last probably 3 years, we've been virtually told we can't make any amendments to TPS 6 effectively because of Scheme 24's imminent arrival. It's probably well timed that we started having a fundamental look again at where we were at.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. Councillor Good, did you have a question or debate? Thank you.
Mayor Lyons, I was actually going to ask the question that you've actually just asked in terms of what comes after 24. Is it 25? But a question could be, how soon can you give a message to the Minister that please don't criticise the City of Gosnells or other local governments for not having their planned amendments put up, systems put up, because we did ours. And they criticised local governments in a press release not that long ago. I'm going, it's not our fault. So well done for asking the question about when 25 starts.
Thank you, Councillor Good. Are there any other questions or debate on this item, councillors? No, if you would like to cast your vote then, thank you. Thank you, that has been carried. There are no motions of which previous notice has been given, no urgent business, no confidential matters, but before I declare the meeting closed, I would like to wish my husband a very happy birthday. It's his birthday today. I'm sure he's at home watching. Happy birthday. And now I'll declare the meeting closed at 7:47. Thank you.